Alright, hello YouTube up here on the riverfront. Well, what we're going to do is this. We're going to review the car. Okay, total review of this car that we just rented. Actually, the time you watch this video, we already returned it. I'm going to let you know it is dusty on it. It's a little dirty because before we returned it, we got to wash it. But I thought just before I wash it, I'll just give you a quick little review of this 2021 Hyundai Kona, and it's been a good car. We average, I think we average pretty close to about maybe to 30 miles to a gallon, almost a little lower than the other car rentals that we had. But sometimes I think it may be like 28, 29. It all depends. I didn't really take a close look at it. But when I totaled up all the bills, if I can find them, I'll let you know how much per gallon, or how many miles per gallon we did. But I think it was pretty high at that. So let's take a look at the car. I know it's dusty because it rained this morning. Doesn't look like it's going to rain now. But it did rain this morning before I got up, and that's why I'm making it a little dusty looking. Yeah, like I said, this is 2021. It's a Hyundai, not a Honda. It's a Hyundai. I guess that's how I pronounce it right. Kona. And everybody's been. I had one comment say it was a Toyota. Nope, it's not a Toyota. And it's not. It's not really a Toyota. But it could be past one. It is a subcompact SUV, so it's like a mini SUV. Okay, have you noticed over here, have you maybe noticed it in our previous videos? Iowa plates. Yeah, those are Iowa plates on that thing. So, it does have, like I said, it is dusty and all that stuff. Iowa plates. First time we rented a car ever to have Iowa plates on it. But, yep, that is what it is. It's a very good car. Gas tank is over here. It's got about, I think, a 15-gallon gas tank, I would say. Pretty small gas tanks nowadays. And that. But it has good gas mileage. We feel, for the miles that we put on it, on an average day, almost 900 miles a day on it. That's what it was averaging, between 700 to 900 miles a day. We fill up like 3 times. So it gives you an idea. Okay, like I said, gas miles has been fairly decent for us. It was a little bit more expensive to fuel up this year compared to last year. Well, last year we brought it, actually last year we had swapped cars. If you noticed last year, Long Bad Day video from last year, where the car battery died at the El Cortez. Angie told me before we left the El Cortez, says, "You gotta go out, check the car, at least start it, make sure the battery works." We did, and we got it home because we left town with this car. And as you saw in the previous videos from our trip, I was not supposed to show you the car. I ended up showing it anyway in those 2 trip videos going out. We brought it right back. So, yeah, it's one of our most successful car rentals we had, except for last year, curveball, and all that stuff. But otherwise, not bad of a car. Okay, right now, besides some other things, is I'm going to give you some tips and some tricks and tips. Basically, when you rent, when you guys go rent a car rental. When I picked up this car and we did a walk around, we talked about every flaw that this car had. Remember, this is a 2021. It's a, that's about, in car years, that's 2 years old. And it's going to have a lot of dings and scratches. And I tell you, we pointed out every single scratch on this car. Actually, I spent more time looking over this car and pointing out every scratch that was on this car and every ding on this car, inside and out. I mean, we made a whole laundry list. I'm going to tell you, it's a good idea you guys do that, okay? Okay, just besides it's dirty and that, one thing we do look for is everything in a car rental. This is one of the tips when you guys go out and rent a car and that. So make sure, tell them where you're traveling and that, especially this time of year, because I told him we were going through Colorado. So what he did was he had a special tool and he checked all the treads to make sure they're legal in the state of Colorado, because in some states with snow states, especially in Colorado, especially going up through the Rocky Mountains, not just there was a chain law for the truckers, but for cars like this and all passenger cars, basically is you got to have good tread. That's why they have what they call a chain law and a tread law. And we had to make sure we had good tread going up the Rocky Mountains. That's why he tested the tread. That was one thing he tested out. That's not a bad idea for you guys to look. If you see, if it looks like a brand new tire, you're going to have good tread. Okay, scratches and dings. We pointed out a lot of scratches and dings. I know it's dusty, but we did point out this big scratch. Started from here, over here, all this scratch marks. We pointed it out to the rental company, and any dings. If that may be a ding, we pointed that one out too, but I think that's mostly a bug. We did hit some bugs. As you see, we hit bugs on the grill. Yes, there was bugs and that. We made sure all the headlights worked before we left, and if we had any problems, yep, we had a lot of bugs. So I'll be washing that off after this video. We checked for dings and marks along the side. We thought there was a ding here, but that's how they made the car. But we documented it anyway. Like I said, any scratches and dings up here, besides bird poop. Birds always has their opinions. There's more scratches up here. We pointed all that out. We pointed out every flaw we can find on this car, basically. And I think that was bird poop. That was a fresh one too. Ouch! And that. So, yep. So besides it's dusty, we will because I do not trust. Even the weather looks good, but we're gonna wash it before we return it, and we're gonna vacuum out, and it just looks good all the way around. So we pointed out all the flaws on the outside car, the mirrors, anything, lights, and all that stuff. We made sure that's all works out good. And that's another thing we pointed out too, because usually people like to scratch their own cars with their own keys, and that's one thing we pointed out too. Like I said, any flaw you find visually, no matter how big or how small, you guys rent a car, point them out to your agent, because if you don't, he's going to make you a charge for it. We'll be cleaning off the vacuum off the seats and all that stuff, and also we pointed out any flaws that was in this car, like the seats, like maybe like stains, like someone maybe went to the bathroom, couldn't hold it in there long and just decided to go to the bathroom. If you check one of our the 2016 Cedar Point, on our trip to Cedar Point, I think it was from traveling to Facebook friends back in 2016, we pointed out one flaw on the seat. It had a big bad stain on it, so we pointed that out to the agent. They acknowledged it, to see if we acknowledge it. It's very important when you guys rent cars out here. Make sure you point out every single flaw, no matter how big or how small, and that even if the thing. Even if some of this looks like doesn't want to work, point it out to them anyway. Just make sure they will probably take care of it. But it is an older car. Usually cars don't stay on lots very long like this. It's over 41,000 miles, so it's probably going to be taken out of service probably after this rental, or maybe the next 3 or 4 rentals. They'll take it out of service. Usually when it gets about 100,000 miles, they'll take it out of service and they'll sell it as a used car. And that. So that's basically it. But we always check all the flaws, seats, all that stuff. Right now, we're basically going to have to clean it out, vacuum out, because we had it for 2 weeks. And of course, it's going to get a little dirty on the inside too. So you guys, when you rent cars, always be best to make sure you guys have a full tank of gas. If you rent a car with a full tank of gas, make sure you return it to a full tank of gas. And you know what? If you rent a car that has a half a tank of gas, just be courteous, and maybe you get a little discount on your car rental. Return it with a full tank of gas. Even if you're told if it's a half a tank, return. They tell you return a half a tank. You know what? Just go ahead and return it with a full tank anyway, because they might give you a little discount there. I had it happen once where I rented a car. It was a half a tank, and I rented out a full tank of gas, and guess what? They discounted me almost a full tank of gas. That's how much they refunded me to a price when I filled it up to a full tank of gas. So they estimated how much I pumped in. They figured that out, and I had a total refund on that. I had that happen once already for the times I rented with this company. And that there's plenty of car rental companies, but just make sure you guys deal with the ones you're comfortable with and the right ones that gives you a good deal. $500 a week. We had it for 2 weeks. Time we added the insurance and all that stuff. Yes, if you don't want to deal with your insurance company, you can buy their insurance. It'd be a little pricey, but at least you don't have to worry about battling your insurance company and the deductibles when it comes to car rentals. Some insurance companies don't cover car rentals at all, so you gotta make sure you have the right company. Some only goes for 6 months and that, but it's always best to get renter's insurance from the company, so this way you don't have to deal with the agents, and you don't have to worry about the deductibles because you're basically paying it as a daily fee. So basically, with 2 weeks car rental, tax, and all the insurance that we picked up 3 of the 4. We only bought 3 of the 4, basically, and it came up to about just under $1,800 for 2 weeks. I think that was a pretty good deal. Especially if something goes wrong with the car and you need towing service, that's a good deal. And if you get pulled over, make sure you guys I know nowadays they send emails and all that stuff. Make sure you print your documents on your car rental agreement to bring it with you. And if they don't believe in this document, have that email in a separate file by itself so you can show in case you get pulled over, and make sure you have all the documents tying to this car rental and that, because that was the signatures of what insurance you bought. But make sure you guys get liability, because liability, that's what the cops will hit you on, is liability. They don't worry about the gobbledygook. As long as you have liability, that's all they care about. So make sure you guys get liability on any car rental. Don't pass up on liability. Always get liability, because that's what they'll nail you on. If you don't have liability, they'll nail you on that. So make sure you guys get liability on that. All right, I think that's it. Like I said, it's a good car. It got us out there and back. We took the northern route. We took the route through the Rocky Mountains, and you saw in the recent videos our southern route. Actually, you saw our final leg coming home on last night's video and that. Okay, tomorrow night, Angie and I will have a total review of our whole trip. Everything from the start to finish, all in order, and all that good stuff. So we'll see you guys tomorrow with a review of our vacation review. Right now, it's the end of this review of this car and tips. Just make sure you guys, when you guys rent cars, just make sure you go through every detail, point it out, boom. If you have any issues along the way, here's the most important part. If you have any issues along the way with your car, get a hold of your agent that got you the deal, let them know where you're at, and they'll hook you up with a nearby agent to correct the issue. Okay? That's also a good thing, too, to know. That's a very important also thing to know, too. Because if you don't know this, you guys are going to get left out. So, now, most of you guys don't watch all our videos, but when we do a review and tips, it's very important you guys watch our entire videos. I try to cover everything as much as possible. But yeah, if you have an issue with a car rental during trip like we did last year, get a hold of an agent. If you can't get a hold of a local agent back home, get a hold of an agent nearby and give them all the account information. That's important why you have this paperwork, just in case. Because if you're calling on a cell phone, it's hard to get that information. So always have this printed out with all the information on your current car rental that you're doing. So this way they have all the information down for you. And this way it'll save time and the issues and that. Okay? All right, please like, share, subscribe, don't forget to subscribe on the notification bell if I left anything out. There's plenty of videos on YouTube, how to do car rentals. And, oh, by the way, when you do car rentals, make sure you guys have a credit card, because if you have a credit card, it's an easier process to have a credit card. But if you're going to pay by debit card, you're going to have a proof of income, okay? So if you're going to pay by debit card, you need a proof of income. It's a job and that. But if you pay by credit card, they don't care. It'd be a quicker process if you use a credit card versus a debit card. Because if you pay by debit card, you need a proof of income and that. So that's basically it. That's the difference between two when you buy something between the two cards. Always use a charge card whenever possible. Even the money that you save, you're just going to spend it in interest fees and that. So don't worry about that, okay? All right, we're out of here. Please like, share, subscribe, don't forget to subscribe button, notification bell. Our trip review tomorrow with Angie and I. We'll have that tomorrow from day by day. All right?